Do you want to learn how to make a table in Canva just like this one here? Then keep on watching.
Okay, there are two ways to add a table to your design. The first way is to click on Elements here in the left toolbar, then search for Table, and then simply choose one of the options here under Tables. Click on See All if you would like to see all variations of tables. Then simply drag and drop onto your design. The second way to add a table to your design is by using a keyboard shortcut. On Mac this shortcut is Command and E, and on a Windows PC this would be Control and E. So press that, then write Table, and click on Table. And the cool thing with that method is that from the get-go you can define how many rows and columns you need. And then simply left click and your table will be added immediately. Now, no matter which method you choose, you can always add or delete rows and columns. Here's how you do it. Left click on your table, and then if you would like to add a column to your table, click on those three dots here on top and click on Add Column. If you would like to add rows to your table, click on your table and then click on those three dots here on the left and click on Add Row. In the same fashion, if you would like to delete a column, click on those three dots here, then choose Delete Column, or if you would like to delete rows, click on your table, click on the three dots here on the left, and then click on Delete Row. Now, how to input data into your table? Well, that's very easy. Simply double click on the cell that you would like to add data in for, then write your text. After writing your first text, to switch to the next cell, you can simply press Tab on your keyboard. Like this, you can fill your table really quickly. Now let us have a look at how to customize your table. For example, you might want to change the border color of your table. Here's how you do it. Make sure to select the whole table by left clicking and then dragging over the whole table. Then in the top toolbar, click on Border. Then click on this color square here and choose your preferred color. We now have a red table. This table looks a little bit skinny, right? So how to change the border thickness of this table? Once again, make sure the whole table is selected. Click on Border again in the top toolbar and then click here on Border Style and increase the border weight. That's definitely a lot better. What if you would just like to change the appearance of one cell of your table? Well, that's an easy feat as well. Simply left click once onto the cell that you would like to customize, and then if you go to Border again, here in the top bar menu for example, and then there change the color to something else, then these changes will only be applied to this very cell.
Yeah, that's all great, but how can I change the background color of an individual cell?
Oh, that's actually a really good question. Thanks for bringing it up. To change the background color of an individual cell, simply click on the cell that you would like to change the background color for, and then in the top toolbar, click on the color square that is located next to the border square, and set your color. Now obviously, if you would like to have this red for the whole table, then you could simply left click and drag over the table, then go into color here again, and click on red again. Another question that I get a lot is how to merge cells in a Canva table. Here's how I do it. Left click on the first cell, then press Shift on your keyboard, and then left click on the additional cells. Once all the cells that you would like to merge are selected, right click, and then click on Merge Cells. Easy. How to import data from other software such as Google Sheets for example. Just select all the cells that you would like to copy into your Canva table. Then press Command and C on a Mac to copy this content or Control and C on a Windows PC. Switch back to Canva, then left click on the first cell once, and then on a Mac press Command and V to paste the contents, or Control and V on a PC to paste the contents over. Just like that. But you might wonder, how can I change the background of my table in Canva? Well, nothing easier than that. First of all, I will select my background here, which actually is a video, but it doesn't really matter, it can be anything. So I will left click on it and then press backspace on my keyboard to delete it. I can do the same with all of these elements here as well. Now to add a new background to my table, I can either click on background here in the left toolbar and then choose something from there. That could be a simple color like this, or maybe something a little bit more advanced like a gradient here. Or you can also click on Photos here in the left toolbar and then choose a photo for the background of your table. You will obviously need to customize your table a little bit so that the data is still visible. In our case here, the data is hardly visible, so I would have to change the text color and so on and so forth. One thing you can always do though that helps a lot is to blur the background a little bit. To do that, simply click on the background, then click on Edit Image here in the top toolbar. Then under Adjust, click here on See All. And then here under Blur, simply move the blur fader to the right to blur your image. And as you can see, just like that, our data here already looks much better. Still not ideal, but I think you get the point. Now last but not least, I would also like to show you how to adjust the size of a row or a column in a Canva table. The first step is to left click on your table and you will then see those handles here around your table. Well, now to adjust either the column size or the row size, you can simply left click here on these handles and then drag. You can do that with basically any border element of your table, not only with the help of these handles here outside, but you could also select this line here, for example, and then just adjust it like this. You can do that with that second one here or with the third one as well. Last but not least, to ensure that your columns and rows always have the same size, I would recommend you to make sure that rulers and guides, just as these ones here, are activated. To do so, click on File here in the upper left corner and then make sure that Show Rulers and Guides are ticked. To add rulers to your design now, here's how you do it. If you want to add a horizontal ruler, hover over this area here until you see this double arrow sign and then simply left click and drag onto your design to add a ruler. You can do that as many times as you want. In the very same fashion, if you would like to use vertical rulers, do the same here but from the left side and simply drag it onto your design. And you can now obviously use these rulers to make sure that the spacing between cells is the same. For example, I could take this ruler here and put that at the very beginning, then take the next one here. And as you can see, there are always numbers here that indicate the exact position of those rulers. So like that, it's very easy to make sure that the spacing is correct. The numbers that you see on those rulers are in fact the pixels. So when it says 406 here, so that means that this ruler is located at 406 pixels. However, it needs to be said that upon insertion of the table into your design, the spacing is obviously perfect and the same for each row and column. And in most cases, you just simply don't want to change these proportions. So the last important thing that I would like to mention here at this point is that whenever you select your whole table and then make it bigger by dragging it here from the edge, then please always make sure to also hold Shift on your keyboard so that the proportions will stay exactly the same. If you don't hold Shift, then this is what happens. And as you can clearly see, without holding Shift, it's very easy to mess up your table. Also, I highly suggest you to watch the next video on this channel, where I will walk you through the 30 greatest Canva hacks that everybody should know.